Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Friends, it's a bittersweet day today. I can't say anything else because today on Saturday Morning Reactoons, we will be watching the series finale of the animated series of Star Trek, specifically Season 2, Episode 6, The Counterclock Incident. Friends, it's a long, strange trip between Star Trek, the original series, and the animated series. And for many times, and I mentioned this in the last episode, I feel that for me, and I'm not sure how the rest of you feel, but for me, this seems like this is the end of the first chapter of Star Trek, the pivotal, most important chapter, maybe the first book of a trilogy, the one that is the foundation for everything, that is just the one that you always refer back to. I feel like I've just experienced like cinematic and storytelling history going through the original series of Star Trek through the animated series. I can't wait to see what the Star Trek has in store for me beyond this point, but I also have to respect the fact that I saw the crew wearing these uniforms for the very first time, and I enjoyed every single second of it, from Spock's brain all the way through to some of the awesome episodes that we've had. I've absolutely loved the journey, friends, and I know we're just starting, but for me, I feel like we're finishing the first book and putting it on the shelf and grabbing volume 2. I don't know what you think, friends, but there's really nothing to it but to do it. If you could help me out first, though, and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for some Saturday morning Reactoons or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear, dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye to the NCC 1701, that beauty, as we watch Star Trek, the animated series, Season 2, Episode 6, the series finale, The Counterclock Incident. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And for the very last time, away we go!
Space, the final frontier.
I'm going to listen to this one, friends. It's the last time I get to hear it.
These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Tear up. I make myself tear up. Love this effing show, man. And I consider the animated series, like you all have said, it's the 4th year of the 5-year mission. I honestly, when I look back on it, it's animated and shorter and all that stuff, but the stories, to me, the stories are all canon, all part of the story of Star Trek. Let's see what the last chapter has for us.
The Enterprise is on course for the planet Babel, where ambassadors from all Federation...
What?
Commodore Robert April, first captain of the USS Enterprise, and for the past 20 years, Federation ambassador at large. Now 75 years old, Commodore April has reached mandatory retirement age.
Well, that sucks.
To me, she was always like my child. I was there in the San Francisco Navy Yards when her unit components were built.
Yeah, because it went Robert April, Christopher Pike, Jim Kirk.
Jim, I didn't realize how many of the tools I use in sickbay were designed by Sarah.
As the first medical officer aboard a ship equipped with warp drive, I'm afraid I had to come up with new ideas all the time.
Oh, I love it.
And it's nice to know the lady is as intelligent as she is beautiful, much like the flower she carries.
Oh, doctor, flattery will get you everywhere. But it has a lifespan of only a few hours. This morning it was a seedling.
Really?
Beta Niobe, you were present when the star first started its explosion, Jim.
Yes, we were, Commodore.
Wow.
Picking up an unidentified object, traveling at an incredible speed, presently on collision course with the Enterprise.
Really? I bet you there's a little bit of Bob April that's like, thank God.
at a speed that should be impossible to achieve, something on the order of warp 36.
What?
I believe it is not a natural object, but a ship.
That goes warp 36?
Nevertheless, it will contact us in 1.4 minutes.
Future
Hard about
tech?
helmsman, change course for 24 Mark 7.
I'm surprised we could even sense it using sensors. Like we could even pick it up.
It is apparently heading for the heart of the Beta Niobe Nova.
That's a course of self-destruction. Lieutenant Uhura, open hailing frequencies.
Hell, it already been through. At warp 36?
All right, if they won't talk, we'll slow them down. Mr. Sulu, put a tractor beam on that ship.
We don't know what that'll do. Are they talking backwards?
I've never heard that language before.
Nor I.
Neither's the universal translator.
The universal translator has the answer. The woman is speaking in the same universal language we speak,
Only
but she is
backwards.
speaking in reverse.
Lieutenant, let's hear that tape backward.
I am on a priority mission. Your beam is slowing my progress. Release my ship at once or I am doomed.
Captain, the engines are buckling. We cannot keep up at this speed.
Mr. Eriks, what is our speed?
Now at warp 11, Captain.
Dear God, we're being drugged like an anchor.
3 minutes, 42.7 seconds.
Give me 3.5 minutes, Scotty. Mr. Sulu, release our beam. Sir, I can't release the tractor beam.
Why?
Not responding, sir. We've got to release that beam or we're going to follow that ship into the Nova.
Our speed is now warp 20, and the other ship will contact the Nova in 1 minute.
When do we lose, like, the nacelles?
As Starship personnel, we were always prepared to give our lives, Captain.
We are still Starship personnel, Captain.
There's got to be a little bit of Bob and Sarah that are like, yes.
We shall have 42.85 seconds to correct our course after the alien ship enters the Nova.
Wow.
Aye, Captain, our engines are almost gone. They've only lasted this long at this speed because the alien vessel is pulling us.
Doing most of the work. Super weird design.
Contact in 39 seconds. 38. 37.
Sulu's like, countdowns are my thing, Spock.
Something's wrong, Captain. We're still being pulled by the alien ship. Impossible. It should have been destroyed instantly.
Apparently it was not, Captain. Our tractor beam is still connected to her.
Then follow at the exact trajectory.
That other ship may have been able to survive the heat of a Nova, but the Enterprise can't.
Unless it's not what it appears.
Still no change, Captain. It's got to work.
Jim's going down there to hit the button. You hit it like this. So cool.
Lieutenant Uhura, can you get us a visual?
Where are Bob and Sarah?
What?
Oh, there. Okay.
Where are we?
We're going backwards. The starfield, the stars are black and the starfield's white. Oh, the negative zone.
The Enterprise has passed into the most alien landscape I have ever seen. We are in some reverse universe where black stars shine in a white void.
The Capellan flower.
I'm sure Captain Kirk has other problems besides your flower, dear.
You don't understand.
It's alive.
It was about to die, and now it's in full bloom again.
Will it return to a seed?
The flower is not the only thing on board that is growing younger.
Explain, Spock.
Ship's chronometers are also running backward. The flow of time is reversed in this universe.
We got big problems then.
Your interference almost cost me my life.
I can understand her now without the aid of the universal translator.
Apparently, our brains are also working in reverse, Captain.
Well, and all the controls are different, so it's probably reading it in backwards too.
I am an explorer of space. I was caught unaware when Amphion, previously a dead star, went nova and came to life. But instead of burning up, I passed into a universe where everything operates in reverse to my universe. My theory is that two stars going nova in the same place in both universes
Open up a
created
gateway.
a gateway, which I passed through. I suggest you set a course to follow my ship. Perhaps our scientists can help solve your problem.
We have little choice.
Yep.
We are proceeding to Carla V's planet,
Eret, Terra.
I'm sure none of us mind growing younger instead of older for a change.
It pleases me, Jim.
Two novas must occupy the same space in both universes in order to create a gateway.
How are we going to do that?
One star dying in our universe and one star being born here would recreate the correct conditions.
Didn't we, like, Strange New Worlds, I think we were in like a celestial nursery or something like that with like baby stars.
Carla 5 has given us coordinates to beam down to her son's laboratory, Captain.
Her son? We don't have time for children's games right now, Scotty, but beam us down.
Aye, sir.
He'll be old. He'll be older than her. It's like a Benjamin Button.
May I introduce my son, Carl 4?
My honor to meet you, gentlemen.
If the flow of time is reversed, then one is born at an old age and dies in infancy.
Then the young child in the playpen.
My father, Captain.
We could remain forever awed with the differences between our universes.
Yeah, no kidding.
We need to coordinate this to our own universe. Can we do that, Spock?
Yes, Captain.
But
We can determine if there are any other novas occupying the same space in both universes.
Correct, Commodore. By superimposing both star maps, we will see where two stars occupy the same place in both universes.
If stars begin as dead stars here, then we could bring one to life prematurely.
But
I had to pass through the novas at my ship's top speed to avoid burning up. Your ship isn't capable of such a speed.
That's true, Captain.
You are welcome to use my ship, Captain.
would we have to like go through at our slowest speed? I don't know.
But we could use it as an unmanned ship with our tractor beam attached.
It could work. That's how we arrived here in the first place.
Right, just another toe.
But any miscalculation anywhere along the way, and we'll be plunging tail first into a supernova.
Yeah. Stakes are high, Jim.
Time continues to flow backward for us. We have set course for a dead star in this antimatter.
Well, it'll probably take some time, right?
We just might get you to babble after all, Commodore.
I'll be glad to get home.
Well, let's not count our chickens.
We'll burn to a crisp or escape into our own universe. Either way, you'll never hear from us again. Thank you for the sacrifice of your vessel.
It is a small sacrifice, Captain Kirk. Success.
Nice. I like this whole world setup aesthetic.
But long before that, we shall all be children. And, Captain, that also means we are losing our knowledge at an alarming rate. It is possible.
Oh my God.
What am I doing here? What is all this equipment?
Oh boy.
What do I do with these controls?
Never mind. Spock, can you fill in for Sulu and Uhura?
Yes, Captain. But who will fill in for you?
Bob April.
I will be capable of assuming command longer than anyone else. But even I will become too young to know what to do.
Captain's log supplemental.
Captain's log supplemental. I'm a kid now.
10 minutes, 14.21 seconds.
Look at Bob.
I must assume command. You are no longer able
Bob
to
can
command
do
the
it.
Enterprise.
Come on.
But you will be capable of command only for a few minutes, not long enough to complete the maneuvers necessary to take us home.
You are correct, of course. Commodore April, command is yours.
Spock's getting younger.
Make sure no harm comes to them, Sarah. We have to ignite that dead star if we're going home.
I love this.
The dead star is directly ahead, Captain.
Look at Eric's. Oh my God.
3.
So interesting. So imaginative.
We're going right into the heart of the nova.
Oh my God.
We did it.
We're
We're
back.
home again.
But everybody's kids.
They're all children.
They can enter the transporter. It retains a memory of their original molecular structure.
Boy, the transporter.
We don't have to use the
We
transporter.
do not.
What a blessing to be able to live one's life over again. If the life you've led has left you unfulfilled,
Yeah.
I don't want to live it all over again. I couldn't improve one bit on what we've had together.
Oh, I love that. Saturday morning cartoon, everybody. Kissing. How many times have we used the transporter to like un-F something?
In view of Commodore April's heroic actions aboard the USS Enterprise this stardate, we are reviewing his mandatory retirement.
Just because someone is 75 years old doesn't mean they're ready to stop giving service to the galaxy.
Oh, that's awesome.
I see your flower has blossomed again.
Yes, our trip into the negative universe gave it a second life. It gave all of us a second life.
What an interesting sentiment to end everything on, you know? All right, everybody, we just finished the series finale of Star Trek the Animated Series, Season 2, Episode 6, The Counterclock Incident. And the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished the series finale of Star Trek the Animated Series, The Counterclock Incident, the 6th episode of the second and final season of Star Trek. Oh boy, you know what? First off, let me just say all this before I think I mentioned it to Patreon before. Just my Star Trek journey is going to continue. I'm watching Star Trek Continues right about the exact same time. The original series movies. I've never seen the motion picture. That'll be first up, and then we'll go through in chronological order all of the other movies. I've seen Wrath of Khan several times, and I've seen the other movies once. I believe once. I don't think I've seen them any more than that, and I think I've seen all of them once. I'm pretty sure that I've seen them all. But again, it has been decades since I've seen anything other than Wrath of Khan. So I'm going to go through all of the movies again to kind of finish out my original series experience. And then we are on to the next generation, DS9, when it enters the fray, I've been told. And then Voyager and everything else, you know, to get everything caught up with Star Trek. So, friends, the journey continues, but I think, like I've mentioned before, this is like the end of the first volume, maybe, of a trilogy of books. This has been an absolutely fantastic ride through the original series and the animated series, and I consider them to be the same same mission, you know, the 5-year mission, year 4 of the 5-year mission. I said that before for the animated series, and I've enjoyed so many of these episodes in the animated series, even though they're bite-sized. Would I've liked to have seen more of them fleshed out? Of course, because that means more Star Trek. I'm greedy. Of course I want to see stuff like that. But I've really enjoyed the animated series, and I thought that this one, the Counterclock Incident, was a perfect one to end on. But you know, I consider the original series of Star Trek and the animated series of Star Trek to be the mission, the 5-year mission. Year 4 of the 5-year mission is the animated series. And so, you know, all of these adventures that we've had, they occupy the same space in my Swiss cheese brain, you know, one of reverence, one of absolute joy, knowing and learning about all of these characters and finally being able to go on these adventures and missions with them. It has meant the absolute world. One of my favorite things one of the best art experiences I've ever had. And the vast majority of that positive experience comes from the members of the community who have been absolutely fantastic, giving me so much information, non-spoilery, keeping me, you know, from wandering off into the weeds, making sure when I get something wrong. Again, everybody has been so polite, so kind. It's just been the absolute best. And to me, that's what I'll always remember about the original series and the animated series. This first leg of Star Trek has been everyone basically just being there and being like, hey, we got somebody that wants them to learn about Star Trek, everybody. Come on in, man. We've got a lot to show you. And it's been the absolute best. But let's finish it off proper and talk about the Counterclock Incident. One, I mentioned it during the reaction, the aesthetic itself was fantastic with that negative star field flying backwards, you know, the reversed communications that we're going through. Really, really cool idea. And you know what? On paper, if somebody had described to me what was going on, hey, in this episode, the Enterprise is going to age backwards and everybody's going to turn into infants, I would have rolled my eyes and been like, oh, dear God, no, I don't want to see that, you know, or, oh, this is going to suck or something like that. Because just that kind of blurb might be off-putting, like turning them into kids. What does that mean? But done in this way, it was, and again, it's not something that they could have done it in live action. It wouldn't have had the same weight though, because you would have had to have cast younger. You wouldn't have had, like, Bill Shatner wouldn't have been able to voice himself as a teenager or whatever would happen to be. So I really enjoyed that. And the inclusion of Sarah and Robert April was that was pitch perfect. great way to do that because we're, and whether or not they knew they were doing this, I like to think that they did because DC Fontana, as you all have told me, was basically the series editor for the animated series. And I love the idea thinking that she thought to herself, this is going to be the last episode. What could we do to send this off on the right note? Or maybe they had a bunch of episodes kind of animated, and she thought to herself, which one of these would make the most impact as the last moments with Star Trek? And however they arrived at the counterclock incident, whether it was planned or unplanned and just, serendipitous that it happened to be the last one, what a great visual to go out on. You have Robert April and Sarah April, who are two of the original crew members of the NCC 1701, the original captain, original chief medical officer, arguably two of the three biggest positions. I mean, science, if our big three is to be considered, science being the rounding out that three. But having them aboard ship, having them being able to go on an adventure, having them choose, hey, do you want to do it all over again? Nah, I did it right the first time. I love that, because so many people would say, oh, even I did. Oh, they're young. He doesn't have to retire. But he stuck with it. He said, no, 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 no. I've lived a great life. My wife and I have had a fantastic run here. But the idea that he still said, I still don't want to retire at 75. I want to continue this life that I've had that I've loved so much. What a great theme to have for our last episode of Star Trek. Because, and again, I intend to read up on all of this when spoilers are no longer a thing that could ruin certain aspects of, future shows for me. I want to look back and what were the prospects of Star Trek when this concluded, when the animated series was, I'm assuming, canceled, or maybe it had a run and they did the run and no more episodes were ordered, something of that nature. I want to know what the sentiment was, even among the creatives like the DC Fontanas and the Gene Roddenberrys. Did they think, oh, that's it, no more Star Trek? Or did they think maybe if we keep trying, maybe we can get something? I don't know. I don't know what was in the works or if there was anything in the works. But I like the message of hope the counterclock incident leaves us with. The idea that, could we do it all again? Could we set it up all again? No, no, no. We did it right the first time. Using the Aprils kind of their own philosophy as superimposing it aboard Star Trek. And then the idea that our crews out there, they're still doing the things, they're investigating probes from the last episode. They're investigating novas. They're going to Babel. They're going to all these places that we know. They've got Robert April. Everybody's aboard ship. The adventure continues. And we're left with that spark. We're left with that note, that hope, that feeling that while things might seem to end, Robert's retirement, no, we're looking it over. We're seeing if we can continue with this. I just like it, whether again it was just happened to be a fateful episode that marked the end of the animated series, or if it was by design. Regardless, it worked. In my mind, it worked very, very well to both keep the love, the hope, the story of Star Trek alive, and again, pointing us towards a future of possibility. And I really do hope that they had something in the pipeline because we know that eventually we get a bunch of stuff coming through. I just hope that they didn't have a forlorn time where they were thinking to themselves, Star Trek's over. But you know what? I think I'm going to correct myself there. If they thought like that, I don't think we'd ever have Star Trek. So I'm pretty sure the creatives never gave up hope. And why should we? Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for Saturday Morning Reactoon, Star Trek, or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear, dear friends, all that is then and this is now. And now, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye from the bridge of the NCC 1701, that beauty that I love. And so the only place that we can say goodbye from, man your stations, my friends. Get to where you need to be. We are all crew members of that beauty that flies through the night. And there we will serve from now until such a time as maybe they make us or suggest that we retire. And we will appeal it. And friends, the adventures, as always, will continue. Until I see you for our next one, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.